Hello, everyone.
Oh, oops.
Hi.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to say more than that. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. Okay, so hello. Welcome to our newest episode of Q for You, our great podcast with your wonderful hosts. I'm Mia Fran.
It's me, Erica Sakadarozo8 on Twitter.
And then it's me, Chantal, which my YouTube is Marshmallow Love.
So, we're really excited for this episode because it is the August episode and it's Erica's first pick. So Erica, let us know what you picked, and then you have the floor. The floor is open to you. It is your pick. So go ahead.
Okay, so my pick for the month of August was Kids on the Slope. It is licensed by Sentai Filmworks. It premiered in the spring of 2012. It has 12 episodes, streaming on Crunchyroll if you would like to watch it. And sometimes Sentai Filmworks has the dub that you have to buy. One thing I found really interesting about this show when looking up information about it was that it's done by two different studios.
Oh.
It's done by Tetsuka Productions, who did Dagashi Kashi Season 2, and Mappa, who did Banana Fish, Sejazanmai, Yuri and I, Terror in Residence, and Kakegurui. So those two did like a partner project on this.
Oh, I did not know that. That's so cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know two studios did it.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. It is directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, who directed Cowboy Bebop and Carolyn Tuesday from this past season or current season. The music is by Yoko Kanno, who also did the music for Cowboy Bebop and other shows. It has a manga. It has 9 volumes with an extra volume, and it's like a full music romance genre type of show. And just so you know, we will have the trailer in the description if you want to have a look at it before you decide to watch the full series. So it's about this boy named Kaoru. He enrolls in a school. He meets. He's like very introverted. He's very like regimented. He does things by schedule. He has like his own thing. But one day he meets this boy named Sintaro on the roof of the school, and then he from their meeting, Sintaro introduces him to music, to new people, to the music of jazz, and just opens him up to like a whole different world using his love of jazz. And through that, he meets different people, like people he never thought he would be, like he would ever like meet on his own
or be friends with.
He's learned, or be friends with. He's introduced to love and to like the people's backgrounds and families. And I guess through meeting them and the music of jazz, he learns different things about people and how those moments can really impact a person, and how like one little spark meeting can change a person's life for the better and for the worse at times. But I really enjoyed this show. I really like jazz, so like I knew I would like it right when I had it in mind for a while, and I just never got around to watching it until now, and I really enjoyed it.
I think it's the perfect opportunity for you to get to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it was something you really wanted to watch a while ago, you just never got around to it.
Yeah. So, before we get into, I guess you want to start with first impressions and then go on to the characters and all the other stuff.
Sure.
So, what were your guys' first impressions of the show? Like when you first watched the first couple of episodes.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll go first because yeah.
So, go ahead.
So I had no idea that it was like a period piece. I had no idea it was going to take place in the late 60s. I thought it was more like modern. But then I slowly realized, I was like, okay, no, this looks like a period piece. And then I looked up, I just looked it up just to like double check, and it was like, oh, it's in 1966, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's really interesting. And then once it got towards the end, you know, and like the last episode, it's like 8 years later, and then I was like, oh, okay. So it's now
It's
it's
1974.
1970. Well, first it's 66, and then it goes to 68, and then it's 8 years
Oh
after
yeah,
that. So then it's
1976.
1976, and I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of cool.
I kind of knew like it was around the 60s by like who the artists were,
Hmm.
like the Beatles, like
See,
all that jazz
I didn't
artists.
see
kind of
the
figured
Beatles
it.
thing coming at all. I didn't see that coming until I read the description for that episode, and I was like, oh, okay, so it is the 60s.
Yeah.
All right, okay, cool.
Okay, and Chantal, what were your impressions? I know you've seen it before, but now that rewatching it, did you have any other impressions that you didn't have before?
Well, let's see. It's kind of hard to like say just because I've seen it like this is my second time watching it. I guess the best way that I could describe the show, it's very, very similar to the vibe that it has with like
Yeah,
friendships
I
and
can see
stuff.
that. Yeah, I could see that. Like, I could see the vibe of it, how it kind of matches with the Kono Oto Tomare, which is a current season show.
It's super duper similar to Carol and Tuesday, which makes sense because it's so
Yeah.
pretty much the same vibe if you like Carol and Tuesday. But I
Well,
actually heard this anime through Anime Intensity. She's the one that like kind of, I guess, so to speak, introduced me to this one. It was like, gosh, like maybe 2 years ago when I watched her video when she did like her Sentai haul. She got it on sale and
Who
she
was
was
it?
talking about it. Anime Intensity.
Oh, okay.
She was talking about it and she was saying how like it was super underrated and she was going to super details and talking about it and like why she liked it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just put it on my queue and I think maybe a year after watching that video I was like, oh, I guess I should check this
Oh.
out. And I
Yeah.
like I think the last time that I watched it was like this year, like in January.
I completely like, you know, I agree. I was very well, to go back to like my first impression, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I was very surprised. I didn't think. I mean, it's 12 episodes, so I figured like, okay, things are gonna happen fast, but I didn't think things were gonna happen like that fast. The way that they went about it. But that was what I enjoyed about it. Like the things were happening, and then they kept happening, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like probably like
There
few
wasn't
days
much of
later.
a like
Yeah.
of like a downtime to like process much of anything.
Yeah, so like they would like they'd have like a fight or something, and then you'd automatic like they'd cut to the next scene automatically. I could tell like, oh, that's like a few days later, or like, oh, that's like, or a couple weeks have passed since then. Oh, it's been like a month probably, because they're like, oh, I haven't seen you in like a while. How come you haven't been coming to the basement and stuff? And I'm just like, okay, so like quite a bit of time has passed, and it's the 60s, so like what else are they gonna do? They can't really do anything. But I also really liked that it took place in the 60s, because then like you mentioned before, Erica, there's like the music, they're more current jazz artists, or like people who were popular like earlier on, and then like they mentioned like they mentioned the Beatles, and The Sound of Music, which I was like, oh, cool, yeah. And then I forgot that there was.
I think it said West Side Story. I think too. At some point, I don't remember where I thought I heard about that somewhere, but I might be wrong. But
yeah, when they mentioned Sound of Music, I was like, oh yeah, there was a jazz cover of that song.
Yeah.
Because they play it at Christmas all the time.
Yeah, they
on
do.
The radio. So yeah, so when I listened, I was like, oh, cool. And then every time they were playing it, I was like singing along to it, because everyone knows that song.
Yeah. Yeah. But most people know the movie version, so it was nice to see the jazz interpretation of it.
The jazz version is, I think it's my favorite version of it, honestly.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. So another question I had was that, like I said, the show, a main focal point, or a main focal point of the show is the integration of jazz through background music, through like how it like plays in situations to heighten like drama, like love and all that stuff. Like, have you ever listened to jazz before? And if not, does it like give you does it give you like an interest in kind of like checking out a little bit of it in like at some point?
My experience with the jazz, so when I was first starting out, like my undergrad stuff, I took like a music appreciation class. So we listened to like classical stuff, but then as we got like further into music and stuff, we did listen to more
It's like music history.
contemporary. Yeah, it was more contemporary things because like I had to write down everything on flashcards. Like I had to be able to identify all that crap.
Oh yeah,
all
yeah.
that like classical stuff. So eventually we did like get to jazz. But like I mean, growing up, I mean, my dad really likes Motown, and there's real influence
Same
in
with
like
my dad.
jazz and stuff.
My dad
So
listens to it all the time.
yeah, so I mean, and then of course there's all these movies and everything. You got like the Blues
Yeah.
Brothers and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not super familiar, but like Moanin' is definitely a song I've heard before multiple times
Yeah, I've
before
heard
watching
Summertime
this.
before.
Summertime
I've heard
is another
Summertime
one
before.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah.
like I said, at Christmas they'll play like jazz covers of like songs
It's everywhere.
because they sound Christmassy, I guess.
And
I
like,
don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So like with me, I got introduced to like jazz music mainly through movies and mainly through my dad and my grandfather. Because my grandfather used to always sing "Summertime" like just out of nowhere, like just like little pieces of it, and like we'd always watch those classic movies from like they'd have like they'd mention like those artists and they'd play the songs and
Yeah.
And like I really got an interest in it. So
yeah.
And then my dad, he listens to jazz like at night to like calm down. But then also here where I live, they have a jazz festival. I haven't gone yet, but I'm really interested in going some year. It's like during the summer. It's in one of the parks here, so it's like very. You just sit on the grass and listen to some jazz musicians. It sounds pretty cool. I just haven't had a chance to go. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also want to mention like I've listened to it for like movies and stuff. So like I know who like Kev Calloway is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even though I did not like La La Land, I did appreciate the jazz parts of it.
Yeah. Same.
Like that movie has pretty good explanation of like what jazz is and stuff.
Yeah. Like I didn't like the movie, but I like the soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, I like the jazz parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Chantal, your turn.
What about you?
Okay.
Have you listened to it back to those music before?
Me?
Like,
No, I have like no knowledge, no experience with it. Not like you guys. You guys seem pretty knowledgeable in it. Me?
Well, we're not really, but
I mean, you guys know more than me.
I'm a novice.
Yeah, same.
So I have like going into this nothing.
Yeah, but like since you're kind of new to the jazz music, did it give you kind of an interest, kind of to like at least check a little bit of it out at some point? Like, did it give you an interest in it?
I liked hearing the music in this. Like, I can appreciate it, but like, it's definitely not for me personally. I feel like I wouldn't gravitate towards it. I'm really, really, really picky when it comes to my music too. So that's also why it's like I'm super limited with my music when it comes to it.
I understand that.
Yeah, same. Understandable. Things just don't go for everybody. That's what's cool about everybody. Not everybody likes the same things. They doesn't gravitate towards the same things. So at least they gave it a chance.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that like we can all appreciate it because I did really enjoy the soundtrack, like the music, the instrumental stuff, and like as soon as you said it's the same guy that did Cowboy Bebop because it's the same director, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I completely. No, I totally understand. Like that's like I can hear that when I'm watching it. And the cool thing I think about jazz is it's like you're just riffing off of each other. Again, taking that explanation from freaking La La Land. when Ryan Gosling's like telling Emma Stone about what jazz is, and it's like nobody's like the focal point. Everyone gets their own shot. Everyone gets a chance to like have their shining moment in the piece, but they're all like improvising and riffing off of each other, and that's what makes jazz so great. And I think that's what makes the show great a lot, especially the jazz scenes.
Yeah, it's not just all one note. It's just like a mix, like a collaboration kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. Okay, So next up is going to be the characters. There's not that many compared to
Other shows.
like it's a very like concise cast, not too big.
Mhm.
So the first character we have is Sentaro Kawaguchi, who is played by Yoshimasa Hosoya. He was Dapo Kanokita in Bungo Stray Dogs, Arata Wataya in Chai Hayafuru, and Mabu Akutsu in Sarazanmai. Any thoughts on that? Just quick little thoughts.
I think he's probably like my favorite character.
Okay.
Like, because I mean, I instantly recognized his voice. So I was like, oh, that's like 5 other characters I've heard this year. So it was easy to like tell. I'm like, okay, no, yeah, I'm totally gonna like
That's
this
who it
character.
is, yeah.
Yeah. But then I don't know, I really like this character. I think he's really interesting. I feel for this character a lot. Like, oh man, the scene when him and Richie are both crying on the rooftop when the things happen after the like motorbike accident and shit. Dude, yeah. I was like legit crying too. I was like, oh no, I'm finally crying. But
yeah.
like, and his backstory is like,
it's very
it's really sad, but it was really interesting.
Yeah. Because you get to see like why he is the way he is, why he's so closed off, why he just gravitates to one thing and just doesn't want to deviate like that. He's very he likes to keep a close knit group of friends. He's very like lively at times, but it takes time to get to know him for him to be that way.
Yeah.
So,
well, and like I think the first time he appeared like on screen, like the first episode, I was like, he's already gonna. I was like, no, I know it. He's gonna be my favorite character. Like, just I don't know, the way his attitude was toward like, you know, everything and everyone. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy watching this character. I think he's gonna be my favorite. And so yeah.
Chantal, did you have any quick thoughts about this character and actor?
Seeing this the second time, like I said, you guys are probably sick of me saying, oh man, she's seen it again. But this character, he's super, you know, misunderstood. Your typical, oh, he's a delinquent, you know,
with a
he's got a label
thing.
on him.
Yeah.
He definitely reminded me of like Chika from Kono Totomare, which is also another reason why.
Oh my god, I love him.
Another reason why I just found a lot of similarities. Like the whole time watching this again, I was like, damn, this is similar to Kono Oto. Like I couldn't help but comparing the two the whole time. I think that was like the one thing that I would look at.
Yeah.
Hosoyan is a very, very talented voice actor. Even after his surgery, I know he had like, I can't remember exactly what his surgery was for. It had to do, I guess, with his vocals or something. Because he took a little bit of a break and he's back, thank God, and he's well. Sounds the same. He sounds good.
Yeah, no, listening.
Like he never.
When you thinking about it right now, you just mentioned that he sounds exactly the same. This is 2012, and then thinking about Sarazanmai, I'm like, no, he sounds
2019, 7 years later.
He sounds the same.
Yeah.
Good and good health, and like he's such a fantastic voice actor.
Yeah, it takes me a while to get to know like Japanese voice actors, how to tell them apart. But I'm not very good at picking out Japanese voice actors, like noticing like who it is. But yeah, I can see what you guys are saying.
Yeah, he's like my second favorite Japanese voice actor. I absolutely love and adore him. He's a good man.
For the next few, I'll just go through them really quickly, and then we'll just give our overall thoughts. Richie Nishimi, who's played Ryohei Kimura. If you watched our like previous episodes and we mentioned him, I will mention the same voice actor role that I mentioned in that episode. He was Yamato Hyuga in Utapri, Ryota Kise in Kokoro no Basket, and Hiyori Tono in Free Dive Future Season 3. Next we have Ritsuko Mukai, who is played by Yuka Nanri. When I was researching the actors' roles for some of the actors, there wasn't very many, but mainly supporting roles in the shows that she's been in. So the next person that we have is Junichi Katsurage, played by Junichi Sawabe. Like if you've known us, if you've listened to us long enough, I think you pretty much know who he's synonymous with us for. Um, he played Renjiguchi Usufrugi, Daiki Aomine in Kuroko no Basket, Kyosuke Takakura in Nana, and Greed in Fullmetal Alchemist 2003. Next is Yurika Fukuhori, who's played by Aya Endo. She was Chitose Ayase in Chihai Furu. So we have Wataya and Chitose, Chihai's sister. Sorry. Miyuki, and then Miyuki Takada in Lucky Star, which I have not seen.
Oh, yeah. I love Lucky Star. Anyone who's watched this who's seen Lucky Star, I'm pretty sure that's the girl with the pink-haired girl with glasses who's rich and has huge boobs. It's that girl. That's that character.
And next we have Ritsuko's father, who is, I apologize if I butcher this name, Tsutomu Mukai? I think that's how you say it. He's played by Zenki Kitajima. He was his only credit that I could find for him. And last person we have on this list is Seiji Matsuoka, who was like Richie, is like a friend who tries to get, I guess, Sensoro into his group or band or whatever he's doing. That's him. See, whenever you watch the show, he is played by Nobuhiko Akamoto, who was Ren Okumura in Blue Exorcist, Katsuki Bakugo in My Hero Academia, and Obi from Snow White with red hair. And that's all I have for characters.
All right, I guess we'll do
any comments on those? Rapid fire comments on those.
I was gonna say we're gonna do rapid fire. Okay, so
yeah.
Some of these characters are kind of frustrating for me because like the way things panned out with them, I'm like, what the, like, god damn it. especially Richie and Rico, because I'm like, dude, just fucking tell her you like her. And then with her, it was just like, girl,
she gets mad. Yeah, she's
listen
like,
to him, girl. Like, girl. I, like, literally every time she would, like, do something dumb, I'm like, girl. I would just keep saying, girl, come on. What the fuck? I mean, yeah. I'm glad.
And at times it felt like she was playing games a little bit. Like,
yeah,
he would, like, tell her who he loves her, and then she'd be like, oh, no, I know. Blah, blah, blah.
I know, exactly. Like, she would, you know, when like, after he told her that how he felt about her the first time, and then, like, she's like, oh, I feel bad for rejecting him, but then she continues to, like, kind of still like reject him, like, subtly, and I'm like, girl, you already rejected him once. Like, why are you confused as to, like, the way he's acting towards you? You rejected him. Like, of course he's not.
But then again, it is high school.
Yeah, so. It's true, very true. But, like, I don't know, it's just like with these two specifically, I'm like, oh my god, you guys are clearly the ones that are supposed to get together. Holy shit, like, just stand there and talk to each other. It's the 60s, that's all you can do.
And then, like, I guess the love triangle type of thing that's happening between the three main characters.
Yeah.
That was kind of I liked it at first. Like, I liked it at times, but sometimes it was a little infuriating because she'd be like, I like Sensoro, but and then Kao would be like, oh, she likes Sensoro. I can't tell her that I like her. I'm gonna try to get them together. Blah 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 blah. And she'd be like, and then, like, later on she'd be like, oh wow, I realize I do like Kaoru. I should tell him that I love him. I'm gonna make him a present. Blah blah blah. And then she's just like, she goes back and forth a lot. I'm like, dude, just, like, y'all need to sit together in a room by yourselves and walk with the door, like, blocked or something, and, like, just, like, talk about stuff instead of just, like, running away from each other every time.
Same, exactly. There were scenes where I was like, why are you leaving? Like, bitch, why are you running away? Why are you running away and crying? Like, say something. But then he would never say anything to get her back there. I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Go chase after her. Say something. Holy shit. Because all he's doing is sitting there like, why am I not saying what I want to say? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Go tell her.
And then like some of the things he would do, like, when he's with her, like, I'm like, dude, you don't need to do that. I mean, like, just tell you, like, you don't need to, like, be like, all. I don't want to say forceful, but I guess forceful with her. Like, I don't know. Like, he wants to tell her how he feels, and then like the times when he's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell her, he just like does weird things. I'm like, no, dude, you don't need to do that. Just like talk to her. You don't need to be like on her face.
I mean, I get it. It's,
Yeah,
teenage love, first love, all this
yeah,
stuff. They're in high
yeah.
school. It's the 60s. Like, things
There's
are
not much to do.
changing. They don't live in a big city or anything like that. So
Yeah,
like,
they're very
I
small
get it.
town. Yeah,
That's the story. But like sometimes I'm just like, God damn it.
that's. I mean, I get it deals with drama, but at times it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Um,
Chantal, what do
and
you
another.
think?
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're the only ones.
No.
Sorry, we like kind of like took
Fine.
over that a little bit. Okay, like say your thoughts on Richie and Rico. I don't know if that's just Central culture.
Rico,
So, like,
Richan.
any thoughts on any of the characters
Well, those
that you
three.
want to talk
Those
about
three anyway.
that we were talking about? Then we'll go off to the other ones.
Yeah.
Because there's just multiple love triangles, and they're all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, especially one of them. I'm like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that
I
one.
mean, they're teenagers. Feelings are scary. I totally get that from them.
Yeah.
It was like it's hard to admit your feelings and what you want to say, and then it comes out sounding different from what you actually want to say, and it end up hurting the people that you
I
like.
get what. Yeah, I got the whole thing about it, but it's just some part of it are like, really? It's kind of like, but yeah.
The other love triangle, what the fuck? That one is also like kind of pissed me off a little bit, just because like episode 3, right? You get to episode 3, Sentaro sees Yurika, he falls in love with her for love at first sight, and I'm like, all right, cool, this looks really good.
That's nice.
I can't wait for them to get together. But then like a few episodes later, I'm like, oh shit, this bitch is meeting fucking June. Oh fuck. And, oh no. And he's older than they are, so like it's like, ooh, okay, he's like a college guy. Like he's an older guy, like, oh, he's cool. And like she just becomes like infatuated with him, and then I was like, oh god damn it, poor Sentaro, like my poor boy, like he can't catch a fucking break, not with his family, not with love, what the fuck, like like what is this shit? But I mean, eventually, like with June and Yurika, like I was like, okay, whatever, they can be together, that's fine. Like I just came to terms with it because I was like, well, he kind of fucking needs somebody, and she's the only person who's like, hey, I'm gonna be there for you and all this, you know. And then when he pulled her onto the train, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh fuck. That was pretty cute.
Yeah.
That part, I was like, I mean, girl, your parents are fucking gonna beat your ass after this probably. So yeah, you should probably go.
You ever go back?
Yeah, you should probably go with him. Especially, dude, when the mom was like, I made an appointment with you with the gynecologist. I was like, oh shit, this bitch is pregnant? What the fuck? Or I was like, if this bitch is pregnant and they're gonna make her like get an abortion or something, I was like, what the fuck? Then it turns out she wasn't, because they never did anything past kissing.
Actually, yeah.
Well, up to
Not
that point. Up to that point.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay then, great. So she wasn't preggo, and then she started living with him, so I was like, okay, whatever. Like, that's, yeah. But I was just kind of like, ooh, scandalous. At that part, I was like, damn, her mom even is like, girl, we need to get you to the gynecologist to make sure you're not doing stupid shit. But yeah. And then when I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see what June looked like in the 70s. Like, we just saw Yurika and she's pregnant. So I was just like, oh, okay, I guess he's cool. Whatever. We don't get to see that.
He'll get with a new job.
Yeah, we don't get to see that character ever again. And I was sad, like, it's Junichi Suwabe, man. Like, I wanted more of him. But, you know, I'll take what I can get.
Yep.
But I liked those characters. I thought they were really interesting.
And I liked, like, especially with June, like, when you first meet him, he's like very clean cut. You think he's like, I'm a college guy, I know what I'm doing, I have a job, I work at my family's bakery shop, and like you find out like what he's really doing. But it's nice to see that he kind of like cleaned up his act towards the end of the that turn of the show, because he met up with his friend
Yeah,
to get a new job.
yeah, and then you see, we see his wife later on. And it's like, okay, they're doing fine. She looks fine. She's dressed nice. Like, clearly they're not living, in poverty or something. They're not poor.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah.
well.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Well, and the whole political part of it too. I was like, that's really interesting. But then I'm like, well,
Yeah.
it's the late '60s. Like,
Yeah.
that
time was
things
very.
are happening all over the world at this point. I guess this is what was happening in Japan, so that was pretty interesting, and that didn't take away from anything either. So
it didn't change anything. It just brought another like factor into their lives.
I guess it's more of like time, place, and setting, really element of that.
But going back to what Mia was saying, how stuff, it was kind of interesting because we're used to like our only know what happens here in America. So to see like what's happening in Japan, I thought that was kind of interesting. It's like, oh, like I don't know any of these issues or what the heck is going on. So it's kind of nice to see June take part of that and like kind of explain like what's going on through his backstory with his friend, which was kind of bad.
Yeah, it was kind of fucked up. Well, because it's post-World War II Japan, like it's already the 60s, and we have a character who's half American, and people don't like that. Yeah, again, it's really interesting to see like this post-war World War II late 60s setting of Japan in some small town. Like it's not even in like Tokyo or anything. And you see, there's like American soldiers still stationed there, and like, Sentaro's half American. And like they're very, they're influenced by jazz of all things, obviously. Like, that's a very American thing. Well, specifically like African American thing, which is very interesting. So I think, the setting is really, I think that's like the best part of the show is the setting and the time and place and the music.
Yeah, and how all that stuff can like goes together and makes an interesting story and interesting. It like introduces you to interesting people. The last characters we have Ritsuko's dad and Seiji. I really enjoyed Ritsuko's dad. I thought he was like really funny. Like he's very cool. Like very like I don't know how to say it. I don't know, like down to earth, I guess. He cares about his family. He cares about his job, and he's like Sensoro. He loves to be in the band. So like anytime they're having a jam session, he's like, "Can I join the jam session today?" And they just like do a set, or like he likes to be around music, which is really interesting. Which is why he has a record shop. And Seiji, oh gosh, Seiji at first I did not like him. I thought he was annoying, to be honest, because he just wants Sensoro to get it in his Beatles style group, or the modeled after the Beatles, I guess. But like it just like he just would not leave Sensoro alone. I'm like, can you just like go away? But then like I don't know, like as like when you first meet him, he was, like I said, I thought he was a little like
annoying,
but like the more you see him and like how he reacts to situations like around him, and how he gets to meet and like be around Sensoro and like the others, I just think he kind of mellowed out a little bit, which is good. I hope so anyway. I don't know, but like seeing what happened to him later on in the future, he got what he wanted. So
yeah, he became like he becomes one of those like 70s teen heartthrob pop idols. Like he looks like he looks like I'm trying to think of 70 like Leif Garrett or like
David
Cassidy, yeah. Or Sean Cassidy too. Like he looks like them, like all those 70s people.
Partridge Family.
Like Partridge Family. the Brady Bunch. He looks kind of like those people. Can you tell how old my parents are by who I can reference?
Yeah, you see who we've been around.
Yes.
So what our references are.
Yes. Or he looks like he could be one of the monkeys too.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the monkeys. My mom loves the monkeys. um, but yeah, I also really liked Ritsuko's dad. I thought he was really cool. I like that he kind of tried to embody like the jazz musicians he admired, you know.
Yeah.
And I like that they mention specific names because then it's like, oh, I can go back if I really enjoy it. I can go back and like look up who these artists were.
People really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they're real people and they existed.
Because like when they had the funeral for, I don't know who died in the series. I don't know what like the
I forget who it
musician's
was.
name was, but like he was really affected by it. Like
Yeah.
you could like tell how much he like really enjoyed that artist's music. You know how much he enjoyed his jazz and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I just really enjoyed like he put his whole heart into his hobby, I guess.
Yeah. Seiji, well, I mean, I like the Beatles a lot.
Yeah.
So
same.
I was very offended that this Beatles fan is being a little shitlord the whole time. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, chill, calm down, chill the fuck out. Like,
And
I
he-
know
yeah.
the Beatles aren't for everybody, but I mean, they were a worldwide phenomenon, and at that point in
Yeah.
time, like, rock and roll is still a thing that people are like, that's so scandalous. Like, oh no, that rock music
Oh my
is
god,
bad.
yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it was cool to see like one of the characters like liked the Beatles and
Really
stuff.
get into that.
Yeah. And then like all those girls are like practically like ripping their clothes off for their fucking band and shit. like like people did with the Beatles. Like that was interesting. Yeah, I'm glad he like chilled out, and then like I said, he turns into fucking one of the monkeys at the end, pretty much. David Cassidy or Partridge Family, all those things we just mentioned. I mean, good for him because he was also poor, and that was his dream, and he
wanted
made
to be,
it, and then he's on TV. So like that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for
That
you.
was nice.
Good for you. I'm glad you mellowed out. Cause then eventually like he realizes like okay, Sentaro's not gonna become part of our
Doesn't really
band.
want to be in our band.
Yeah, whatever. I still have my goal. I'm gonna do it. So that was interesting. Also like
Yeah.
I mean he just looks like a character that like needs to chill the fuck out.
Okay, well I don't have much to say about the dad. And I think you guys pretty much said everything about the other character. But I do want to, like, I guess, add a topic concerning that character, which I thought was kind of relatable and interesting. It's not just solely about, like, this character, but it's also, like, relating to Sentaro and Kaoru. Kaoru getting jealous of Sentaro's hanging out with the other guy. Which I think is really relatable, especially like at that age when you're teenagers, you have like that mentality like, oh, why are you hanging out with
with that
like
person?
Am I not important?
Instead of especially when you like consider them like your best friend and it's like you hang out every single day.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you made a new friend.
You drift off to somebody else, another group of people.
You made a new friend. Okay, so what? Suddenly I'm not like the most important person in your life anymore. It's kind of like because they have like a bromance, dude. Like Sentaro and Richie, they have like bromance for the ages. So yeah, like I totally felt that shit. Like because I've been there where like even like middle school, like someone I considered my best friend, they'd go off and hang out with other people without me, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess, you just...
Well, I guess you didn't want me to be there. I could go too, but I guess not. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like,
Why did you invite me? Or whatever. So I could see, like, how, like, Rich could feel that way when Sentaro, like, started hanging out with Seiji and his group of people. Because he really got attached. They got attached to each other.
Yeah.
And, like,
but then the other frustrating thing about that was like, Richie, just fucking go up to him and talk to him. Holy shit! Like, if you have, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't let the problem well up inside of you and do nothing about it. Like, that's, I mean.
Yeah, don't let it build up until it. And explode until it's too late.
And then you're throwing your clams into the water. Like, don't do that. just go and talk to him. Like, if I could tell myself my younger self to do that shit in middle school and stuff, I would fucking do it. I mean, if you really feel that way with your friend or something, like, hey, how come, like, blah, 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 I mean, you gotta bring it up to them. Because if they're your friend, they'll listen to you, and they'll understand you, and they'll talk it out. like
Yeah.
friends should.
Like
But
the
yeah.
whole thing was just so dumb. Like seeing freaking Kaoru get mad over like just this little thing, and I'm just like, dude, your buddy, he's not going anywhere. He can hang out with wherever he wants. He's
He's
fine.
not gonna forget about you.
He's still gonna choose to hang out and jam with you in the basement. Like, don't worry about it. Like,
Yeah, but I can see like how he felt that way because I felt that way a lot.
yeah, of course. You know, I have too. You know, especially in middle school.
Yeah, it's super relatable. Like I said, I think every
every person has a friend like that where it's like, oh, you know, like we just said, you know, everyone has a best friend that starts to hang out with other people, and then it's like, oh, they're forgetting about me. It's kind of like the metaphor or the analogy they have in the show with the letter writing, where he's like, you know, oh, well, I had a really close friend when I was little, and then I had to move away, and then he said, oh, we'll write each other, but he never sent me
and
any
they
letters.
did it. Yeah.
And then towards the end of the show, they like show him opening the mailbox again, but then there's a letter, because like that's representative of Sentaro.
His relationship with Sentaro, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that hit me. I was like, yo, that's a true ass friend. Cause like even at the end, like I guess we're going to spoilers now, but
Spoilers.
yeah, spoilers. But like even at the end, you know, they hadn't seen each other in fucking 8 years because Sentaro runs off and you don't know where he goes, and then Richie goes to college and he's, you know, now he's like a resident and a doctor.
A doctor.
And like he finds out where Sentaro is. He goes to that because Sentaro becomes like a priest in training or whatever, and then he goes, finds the church he's at, starts playing the organ, and then he hears the organ being played because he's playing Monin, and then they just fucking start jamming like they never left each other, like they saw each other yesterday. Like they're still in high school, and like that to me, I'm like, that's true ass friendship. Like that's a fucking bromance.
I like how you were saying about the bromance, and it made me think of when Kaoru was I think he was talking to Richan about this, where he's like, man, even sometimes I'll look at him and I'm like feeling like I'm falling in love with him. And I was like, oh shit. This is like his first real friend, and
yeah, it's really important.
It is understandable why he got jealous, but at the same time it's like, dude, loud. He is not
you gotta pick your battles on that one.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your battles when you're gonna fight with somebody about something. You gotta think, like, is this something worth fighting about, or is it something that I should just talk to the person about?
Yeah.
You know, like.
I mean, sometimes they did deserve punches and slaps in the face. Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
Sometimes you gotta do that to your friends. I mean, I've never personally done that to one of my friends. It's never gotten to that point. But, you know, if I ever have to, I will slap a bitch. Be like, hey, snap out of it, girl. You're my friend, I care about you, but stop being an idiot. I haven't had to do that yet. Thank God.
Yes. Does anybody have any last minute comments before?
Trying to think. I wish it was like 2 episodes longer, because I wanted to see like the epilogue.
A longer epilogue.
Yeah, like I wanted to see at least fucking Richie and Ritsuko like get together.
Yeah.
Not just fucking smile at each other and then it goes to black at the fucking ending plays. Like, I don't want that shit. I want them to like kiss or something.
The first time I watched that, that's how I felt. But the second time watching this, I'm like, well, that's not really important.
I guess
like, if you really, really like look at it, like the core thing that's like basically like the main thing of the show was between Sentaro and Kaoru, because like Ritsuko, she's there, and she's there with them, but like the main core of the show is like these two characters, these two boys.
Yeah, well, I guess I was just frustrated just because I'm like, we spent so much fucking time with this goddamn love triangle, and like, it was so frustrating because like they kissed, but like I wanted it to be like, I wanted them to actually like kiss, like not just kiss because it's a heat of the moment kind of thing, like it was when they're like in her room or whatever, or like when he first kissed her and she fucking runs away. I wanted it to be just like a, oh, hello, kind of like we're back together again, but now we can like be together. But I mean, that's
Yeah.
just me personally, and like,
Yeah, but I see what Chantal's saying. She's saying that like it's the show, the love triangle thing a like I don't know, was like
it's part of the story,
a
but
big
it's not.
a big point of it, but like the overall thing was how in this time and place and how this music brought these two people, these two high school people into a friendship, and how that developed into a bigger friendship that lasted years. And it's not just about the love triangles between Ritsuko, Kaoru, and Sensoro. It's more about the friendship than like the love triangle thing. So, you know, it's like it's how that music can, I guess, transcend years, and how that really makes a big impact on somebody, and how it can introduce them to new people and make like lifelong friends possibly with through that. So like, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Like, I know the story is more about like the friendship. Obviously, the love triangle and stuff is just like tacked on. That's just like part of the story. It's not like the main part of the story. But I just wanted them to kiss. God damn it! Like, just cause like reading what happens at the in like the epilogue of like the manga and stuff, like they get married. Like, so like they do end up together, but like I wanted to see it on the screen. I didn't want to read it in one sentence. But yeah, no, but for real, like I really did enjoy the whole thing. Yeah. Regardless of my frustrations with certain things.
With our frustrations about some stuff.
I mean, not every show is perfect, so you know.
Before we get to announcements, I think that we should go on to the questions that we've gotten, the couple of questions that we got on Twitter when we put out the tweet. We got a few from, we got some from Dylan and some from Savage Lucy. So the first one we're going to go with is from Dylan. He said, what was your first reaction to finishing the first episode, which we've kind of mentioned earlier. If you want to reiterate that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can reiterate it.
You know, watching this, I feel like I appreciated more so the friendship of Sentaro the most. Like that's like the core thing of the show, and like this first episode starts off, you know, with a meeting. It starts off kind of rocky and stuff, but so it gets you hooked because like they were like kind of back and forth. You kind of want to like see how that turns out. You're like, oh, that's kind of an interesting little friendship there, bond over jazz and stuff, and it's really cool to see them in that first episode just jamming out.
Like Chantal said, I really like the first episode. It really grabs your attention. I think what really grabbed my attention the most was the music. The first episode, especially because it's jazz, so like it's gonna have little flails of like big loud noises sometimes during like big loud parts, or like something crazy is going on the screen. You always want like a jazz like little jazz riffs like that are always really cool for parts in things like that, media and movies and stuff, which I really think is cool. But yeah, I think the friendship that sparks between them is very interesting. In the first episode, you know, they bond over something, you know, I mean, Powder, like, basically, he knows nothing about jazz at that point, you know, when they first meet, but, like, when Sensei is just like, dude, just play, like, just go, and he just starts doing it, it's like, I don't know, it creates, like, magic, like, a magical moment happens, and it's like, okay, friendship has been born here. And like I said, I mean, the first episode I knew Sentaro was probably gonna be like my favorite character, so that's like a good sign for me personally, is like, okay, I already like this character, so I want to know what happens to them throughout the course of the show. So yeah, it's a really good like first episode. It really hooks you in, and you meet most of the characters in the first episode, so like that's always good. Because sometimes, especially with like a short show like this, like if it takes forever for us to meet like one character and they come in like halfway through, I'm like, I don't care, man.
You're like, why?
Like, it's like,
we should have met you like 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, like it's half over. It's already almost over. So like, I really appreciate that we met all of the major players in like the first few episodes.
My reactions to this are similar to Mia's, I would say. Like I've mentioned before, the first thing that caught my eye and were like was the music, was how the music really plays a big part in setting the story, not just in like the overall like the introduction to jazz for Kaoru and meeting those people, but like how the jazz can like set a scene like just by being in the background, because you'll get like really like tense pieces like during the tense parts, and you'll get like little happy little bouncy pieces like with them just like walking to school. You'll get like soft, I don't know, like I don't want to say just soft and lovely pieces for like the sweet scenes between people. Um, and the setting of the 60s just really like interested me, because I'm kind of familiar with that setting from what I've watched before. Um, and just the characters and how jazz just really sets up the foundation of friendship between Sensoro and Kaoru, and how that foundation just built up over years and never just it broke a little bit, but it kept getting fixed throughout the years, because through their love of jazz, they just like learned to accept each other and to like to be better friends. And like I said, like later on in the series, like towards the end, you get to see that through that foundation, their friendship is just strong, and that these people really do care about each other, um, and will care about each other in the future. So like I just the first episode really had a good was a good building block for the series overall, because you meet like Mia said, you meet most of the characters, most of the important characters, like in the first like half of the episode or something like that. I don't remember, it's been a little bit, but I just really enjoyed it. So the next question we have is also from Dylan. He asks us, have you ever played an instrument?
No.
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 Unless singing counts, then
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. But no, I wouldn't say that in the past I haven't, but currently I have a guitar. My dad bought it from somebody, and he gave it to me. He bought it from a friend, and he said I could have it, so I'm gonna teach myself guitar. So that's great. I've been wanting to learn for years acoustic guitar, so I'm gonna teach myself how to do that. I just gotta get it fixed up a little bit.
I mean, I can like plunk things out on the piano, like I
Yeah.
can just find the
You can find the keys.
can find the keys. Like I know how to do a chord. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, same.
And like move up the piano to do like warm ups and stuff. But if
Yeah.
singing counts, then yes.
Yes.
Because
All of us.
I was in choir in school.
Yes. Same.
Because I went to Catholic school, so we had to like go to church every week. So like sometimes each class would like be like the choir for church. So like we'd sing in that, and then like we also just had like regular choir there. So I did that. I didn't do it in high school because I did theater, but I mean I did musical theater. So I've been in musicals, done rehearsals, sung. I sing in the car. And like I said, when they're playing my favorite things, I'm like, raindrops and roses and whiskers, like I'm singing the songs, I know words.
Yeah.
And yeah, like a few live streams ago, if you go on my channel,
you sing on live stream.
Me sing on the live stream. Kind of sound like garbage, but I haven't warmed up. But
Yeah.
Singing counts. Well, and I kind of count tap dancing too, because I used to tap dance. That's like an instrument. You're playing drum beats with your feet. I always wanted to play the drums though, just because I had done tap and like it's rhythm stuff. It's pretty easy to pick up. But I've never learned how to play any instrument or anything like that.
Yeah. Like I said, up until now, I've wanted to play the guitar for like years, but I never had the money to get a guitar, and now I have one because I didn't know my dad had one, so now I can play. I used to have a piano. I didn't really play it. Only interaction with the piano I had was during choir practice for 4 years in high school.
I've never played anything. I've never like touched an instrument because I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I feel like even in choir I could barely read music, so.
The only thing I've ever done is choir since middle school, since 6th grade up until high school. So I can still read my sheet music.
Until senior. Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had to read sheet music, so I'd have to relearn it a little bit. But once I got the hang of it, I think I could figure it out. The next question we have is from Savage Lucy. Um, he said, like, I think it's something we already mentioned. But he said, "How did you feel after watching the series?" Which we've kind of been talking about. All the questions that he has, we've kind of mentioned before, because he asks us like, "How did you feel about watching the series? Did you connect with any of the characters in some way? And what life lessons did it teach you on a deep level?" So you can answer any of those, or you could kind of expand on those if you want to say anything else that you didn't mention before.
I'll do a rapid fire. I'll answer all 3 questions one after the other as one giant of me talking. So, how I felt after watching it, I felt pretty good. Like, it ends pretty happily. Like, their friendship was not torn in any way. They're all still friends with each other at the end. They connect still. Obviously, Jazz still connects them very deeply. Did I connect to the characters in some way? Yeah, I mean, again, Sentatl is a pretty interesting character. I wanted to know what happened to him throughout the whole series. His backstory was interesting. I felt for some of the characters, confessing how you feel to somebody when they don't feel the same way sucks ass. But, I mean, when you do it, you do it. And then, like, going around with the knowledge that, oh, they know that I like them, but, like, they don't like me, so, like, they can't really do anything about it, and neither can I, is kind of interesting to see, like, on the outside perspective, because being inside of that is awful. I don't recommend it. I personally don't recommend feeling that way. So, unless you don't mind being around the person you like all the time when they don't like you back, go for it.
Rejection.
I guess. Go for it, I guess. So I connected to the characters in that way. Also, just like they love one thing and they really have a deep seated passion for it. Like, I can completely understand that. I'm the same way. Certain things, the music I listen to, specifically the music I listen to for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what, 12 plus years now, 13 years now, I guess. I don't know. I've been a Panic at the Disco fan, and I'm not gonna stop. Like, that's like part of my way of life, pretty much. So I can completely understand like them being like, no, jazz is like our life. It's not
That's it for me.
It's not just our hobby. Like, we eat, sleep, live, and breathe jazz. I completely understand that. Life lessons did teach me on a deep level. That friendship is very important. Obviously, number one. I really value friendship a lot. So it just kind of cemented my feelings on friendship, especially like really close friendships, like with people that I've known for years, that are still in my life. I mean, all the people that I don't talk to from like middle school and stuff. I mean, clearly we're not like friends anymore. Like, we're friends on Facebook, but we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
And even looking back on that, I'm like, were they really my friends? Because did they really care about me? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Because the friends I have now, the people I have chosen to surround myself with, including you guys, is a very small circle of people that I personally choose to keep close to me. So, and share things with, including like my love of things. I mean, we all share a love of anime. Obviously, that's a very big connection that we have. So, yeah, it just really cements my feelings on friendship, first and foremost. And like, the life lessons of, friendships last forever. Like, romance lasts a long time too, but sometimes I feel like friendships are more important than that.
Well, after watching it, like it's a bittersweet ending. Like it's not like a happy or sad ending. It ends, you just get to see them all grown up. It's a time skip, basically, that last episode.
Yeah.
We finally get to see how Sentaro's doing. It was nice to see that he's doing fine. He's good. Acting with the characters, I feel like Sentaro is definitely like the most. I feel like he's one character you'll gravitate to the most when you're watching this. You just can't help but like him. And such a
Mhm.
good person. Like, he doesn't deserve any of that shit that he went through. But
Yeah.
life can be kind of cruel that way too. So the last thing on here is the what life lessons did it teach me? Like Mia was saying, it definitely made me appreciate my friendships too a lot. Don't be that dumb friend that gets jealous over something, because it's like, talk to them, they'll understand. If you have something to say it. They'll be your friends. That's when you know that if they're your actual friends or not, and they'll tell you the truth. That's what friends are for. Like, they'll tell you even though if it hurts.
Yeah, if you hate it, if you're not gonna like it, they'll tell you either way. They'll tell you what you need to
And
hear.
Because then
So.
they'll still be there for you.
and
Even
like
if it
you were
hurts.
saying, Mia, ships like between, like, let's say husband and wife, or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you choose, whatever, you never know if they're gonna last or not. Like, for example, with my parents, they're divorced. My parents got remarried too, but even then, like, my dad's gotten remarried several times. So that goes to show you that, sometimes relationships like that don't really last, but friendships can last forever if you take care of them. Like, at the end of the day, if you break up or get a divorce, who's going to be there to pick up the pieces?
Your friends.
Yeah.
Friendship forever.
How did I feel after watching this show? I really liked the ending. It leaves it kind of, I mean, it tells you like what happened in the future, but it left it kind of open-ended before that, and I really liked that. It gave me gave me a new appreciation for jazz as a music genre that I like, but I gave me a new, um, gave me more reason to like fall back in love with it, or like at least check it out some more. See, did I connect with any of the characters in a way? Well, I do like connect with Sensoro. He like I guess with all of us, he's our favorite of the core three. And there are times where I connected with like Ritsuko or like Kaoru, telling somebody that you like them and having to deal with like their feelings about you at times, and then just kind of having to deal with that, and you're just scared to like be around that person because you don't know if that one instance changed their like feelings about you or your friendship. I went through that a lot. Like friends in my life. Like one thing that I didn't know if it was gonna like if it was the end of like a friendship or something like that. So I was like very I don't know. I don't know how to say like I don't want to say timid, but like I was very careful with like how I would like share my feelings with people, you know. Um, so yeah, and then let's see, what lessons did it teach me on a deeper level? Like Chantal said, it teaches you to like pick your battles with things with your friends. Like, do you really want to like start something over something so little and risk making it a bigger thing and losing that friendship that you care so much about? Or do you want to talk to your friends, talk it out, like figure things out and like come out stronger? It also taught me that like, yeah, you have your family, but also be your family at times. Your family may not be the best, but if you have good friends, they can also be your family. They be there for you when even your own family won't be at times. It just shows that friendship is sometimes stronger than family at times. That friendships can last through like all the dumb, stupid things in high school that you went through, the things that are going on in your life. If you have a good, strong group of friends, they will understand you. They will like be there for you whenever you need them. They won't like leave you or forget about you. If they really care about you, they will have your back. So um, like I said, friendships can also turn into can be like a family thing.
You can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends, and your friends can
Mm-hmm.
become your family.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Yeah. So that's it for the questions that we've gotten. So the last thing we have is an announcement. So Mia, did you have any announcements that you wanted to mention?
Yes. All right. So, well, so here are our announcements for this episode. So, next month is September, and it just so happens to be my pick, but also my birthday is also in September. It just kind of worked out that way. So, what I'm gonna pick for next month, it's not an anime, I know, that's gonna be surprising, but it's still really good, I promise. For all of you doubters out there listening. So I picked Miraculous Ladybug, or if you want to call it Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, you can call it that as well. But I picked Miraculous Ladybug. It's a 3D animated show. A lot of people probably think, oh, it's just for kids, and no, it's not for kids. It's for everybody. It's really good. It's French, South Korean, like kind of team effort. It takes place in France, so we're gonna have French characters, French names, but it's about superheroes. So I'm sure you guys have seen what it looks like. It's kind of goofy, kind of silly, but it's really fun. And the overall superhero story and everything is really great. I've talked about it on my channel before, so go look at my videos on that if you want to get a little taste of it. Where you can watch Miraculous Ladybug legally in the United States is on Netflix. Seasons 1 and 2 are the ones we're going to be talking about because those seasons are complete. Season 3 is also on Netflix, but it's only the first half of season 3. So, I mean, you can watch season 3 also, but we're not going to talk about season 3. We're just going to talk about seasons 1 and 2. And it also comes out on Disney Channel in the United States. I don't know when it comes out on Disney Channel because I just watched it on Netflix. And fun fact, if you don't want to watch it in English, you can watch it in French. There's a French dub. You can watch it in French. You can watch it in Korean. If you go on YouTube and want to watch it illegally, you can watch it illegally in a bunch of different languages. There's different dubs, but we're going to watch the English dub because the English dub is really good. And it's got a lot of English voice actors from anime that you're all going to recognize. So, yeah, that's going to be really fun and interesting, and I'm really excited because it's really influenced a lot by anime and superhero stuff like Marvel and DC, and of course, our first episode was on Avengers Endgame, so it all comes back full circle. So I think we're gonna have fun watching it. I love watching it. I've watched it 8 million times, so. So I'm gonna have fun. I hope you guys have fun watching it. So that's gonna be September's pick. But yeah, if you have any questions in the comments regarding our next pick, if you think you would like it or not, please leave us comments. I assure you, it's fun. Everybody will like it. My brother likes it. I like it. I know a lot of really cool people that really enjoy Miraculous. So, and it's got cute characters. Come on. It's got cute boys and cute girls. You're gonna like it.
We do have a bonus episode coming up on Given.
Next month as well.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, once that is over, we're gonna have that up as well.
That's gonna since it's 11 episodes, it'll be maybe the last week of September, if not the first week of October. Look forward to that.
That's also very, music inspired, but it's indie rock music. And much like Kids on the Slope, every episode is titled after a song. And, quick thing, so I just started a new job, and Erica's gonna start doing school, but we're still gonna make episodes, don't worry guys. We'll just be kind of we're gonna be more cautious of our schedule and everything like that, so, when tweets come out, they're only gonna come out when we're announcing important things. So when we're announcing things, don't worry guys, we're not gonna be taking forever or anything like that. We're just busy, but we're still doing this or anything. A new job in school is not gonna stop us from still making this podcast.
It'll just take a little longer sometimes.
Yeah.
To get our schedule situated.
But still, again, watch along with us. You can if you want to. With all of our picks and from here on out in the future. Yeah, so thank you, Erica, for picking this. It was a really fun
You're welcome.
Really fun ride, I'm really glad you picked it. I would have never even heard of it until you picked it. So I'm glad that we all got to, enjoy it. And I hope you guys listening to this and watching it enjoyed it as well. If you watched it before you listen to this episode. And again, let us know in the comments what you think, what your thoughts are. You guys can answer the questions in this episode in the comments as well, you know? Talk amongst yourselves, talk with us in the comments. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Who was your favorite character? What was your favorite part? All of that great stuff. Talk about it in the comments. And make sure you guys share this episode as well, because, you know, we're still kind of starting out. We don't really have a lot of followers or anything, but, you know, we're just doing this for fun. We just want to, like, you know, get our thoughts out there, and, you know, it's just a fun thing for us to do, as fans, as connoisseurs. I don't know of anime. I don't know if I'm like a connoisseur
as
or anything,
friends,
but, you know,
and
as friends, of course. As friends, you know, we just want to talk to each other about cool stuff, you know, that we think the others would enjoy. So, of course, everybody, you know, like, favorite, subscribe. Can you still favorite videos on YouTube? I don't remember. I don't know. Like, comment, and subscribe. And then if you're already to subscribe, hit the little bell icon. So that way you're notified every time we post a new video to this channel. And follow us all on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for listening and for watching and subscribing and all that good stuff. Again, follow us on Twitter. We've got our own Twitter. It's in the description. All of our personal Twitters are also linked in the description below. And mine and Chantal's YouTube channels are also linked in the description below if you want to check out our own stuff that we like to post on YouTube. And of course, we're gonna have that trailer in the description as well. Check it out. Watch the show if you haven't already. It's a really great show. It's on Crunchyroll, or you can watch the English dub if you buy it from Sentai Filmworks. So with that said, this has been me, Fran.
Me, Erica.
And Chantal.
And yeah, that's the end of this episode. We're gonna close it out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yes. Have a great rest of your month. And we'll see you next month for Miraculous Ladybug.
Yay!
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.